Get out your ice skates 'cause we're in an ice age. It might not look like it when you look out the window, but we're in the middle of an ice age. Just because the upper half of North America isn't covered by 1.5 to 2.5 miles of cruising glaciers doesn't mean they won't come back. Our current ice age started about 2.5 million years ago, give or take a couple 3 tens of millennia. The last glaciation started about 110,000 years ago and ended about 12,000 years ago. It hit a maximum of ice coverage of North America about 26,000 years ago. Glaciations last about 100,000 years and interglacial periods between 10,000 and 50,000 years, depending. We're past the 10,000 year mark. The ice sheets could start cruising back any time now. What does the timing of ice ages depend on, you might well ask? Depending mainly on where we are in a Milankovitch cycle. What the hell's a Milankovitch cycle, you might well ask? Good old Milutin Milankovitch, the well-known Serbian geophysicist and astronomer. Back in the 1920s, he took all the known data about the Earth's orbit, how it varies from nearly a circle to slightly elliptical, how that orbit also wobbles up and down like a spinning coin at the end of its spin, and the fact that as the Earth spins about its axis, that axis also wobbles about a bit. He took all that and figured out that since all this affects how much sunlight hits the continents during the changing seasons, that effect was that when the axial tilt was steepest, the Earth's orbit was most elliptical, and we got colder. Earth is known to have had 5 serious ice ages in its 4 billion plus year history. A couple of them made Earth resemble the ice planet Hoth, except for some areas around the equator. No fossil towns have been discovered as of yet. Milankovitch's theory matched what was known about ice ages back in the 1920s, more or less. These days it has been modified by throwing in continental drift, which is merely an unproven hypothesis back when he was hypothesizing away. Where the continents are affects the ocean currents, which affects the distribution of heat around the planet, etc., etc., etc. Now there's a moving image for you. Continents scooting around, the planet wobbling on its axis while whipping around the sun, orbit stretching back and forth while wobbling up and down. Throw in the fact that the whole solar system bobs up and down across our galaxy's equator while orbiting around the galaxy. Makes you wonder why you aren't all nauseated. Hey, maybe that's why there are volcanoes. Our Mother Earth, good old Gaia, gets spin dizzy and just needs to barf occasionally. You may read the text of this on my blog at bydean.com. That's BHAIDIN.com.